Welcome to Socially Unfiltered,
That's the sleaziest tactic I have ever heard.
I cannot believe they would say that to you.
an open discussion all about social media, entrepreneurship, pop culture, and everything in between.
We're just some DIY girlies.
It costs $0 to support your friends.
You'll go on deep dives and doom scrolls with your hosts, Lex and V, to uncover the stories behind the headlines and look at everything through an unfiltered lens.
I want to relive the 2000s.
Not the trauma dumping on a Monday.
So grab a drink and get ready for a lot of yapping. Don't worry, there's no quiz at the end.
Strategy is such a buzzword.
English isn't my first language, so that's my excuse.
This is the Socially Unfiltered podcast.
Yeah. Here we are, the midst of summer, the height of body image panic, the time of year where everyone's wearing no clothes and everyone's making me feel really bad about myself. Just kidding. We've worked past it. We're fine. We're fine now. Kind of.
Kind of. We're still struggling a bit here and there.
A little bit.
Aren't we all?
Literally, aren't we all?
fucking
About
all.
one thing or another. Anyway,
Yeah.
hello. Happy Monday. Let's dive into some trauma, per usual.
Some body dysmorphia, some
Yeah.
insecurities.
Yeah, clothes, your body, going to the beach in summer, all of the things that, would have put like 15-year-old me into an absolute spiral. And happy to have worked past a lot of it.
Yeah. For sure. And still continue to this day because, society and social media and life just has a way of pressuring us into wanting to look a certain way, wanting to be a certain way, wear certain things, and just like kind of feel bad about ourselves a lot. So we just
All the
we just
time.
wanted to talk about we've never talked about this before. Just like body image and insecurities around it, our experiences with it. Like, I don't know, I feel like summer is the perfect time to talk about that because I do feel like so many people experience this in the warmer, I mean, always, but like I feel in the warmer seasons it's a little bit harder as well because we're like a little more vulnerable. We're wearing our bathing suits and wearing less clothing.
Exposed.
Yes. And it's tough. It's a very sensitive and hard topic, but I feel like we have to talk about it.
Yeah, I remember the day that I was like, yeah, I like feel like I have like disordered eating, and then like just continued on with the conversation. You were like, wait, no, like we're not
Yeah.
just gonna like skip past that. Because it really has become just like so normal, and like we talked about it that day, like I'm very much somebody who's like, okay, after I finish these 3 tasks, I get to have a snack. And it's not like I'm like, oh, if I don't finish it, I can't eat today. Like I'm not withholding food, but like I definitely use it like as a motivator, like as a reward, and like even in a positive way. It's like you really shouldn't be doing that. I don't know, we talked about like how we do that with like a lot of things. Like a bathroom break takes me 30 minutes to be like, okay, I'm ready to do that now because I have finished the 3 things I needed to finish before I was allowed to do that. So it's like, I wouldn't call it an eating disorder because it's not like I lack nutrients or like I don't like eat intentionally, but it's definitely like a disordered way of looking at food as like a reward. You're definitely not supposed to do that.
Right. Or like a punishment too. Like when you,
Right. Do too much. Yeah.
like eat a lot over the weekend and then now you're having to like work it off. Or I feel like a lot of people get into this punishment type of routine where it's like, oh, I'm just gonna binge on the weekend and then during the week I'm just gonna like punish myself and drink all these green juices and not eat because I was like so bad during the weekend. But more people struggle with that than not. I mean, I think all of us have gone through that. We're like, oh, I feel like shit. Like, why did I eat all that? Why did I drink all of that? Like, that didn't make me feel good. But I think it's more about like the feeling versus what you're actually consuming. Like it's associating like this food is bad, this food is good, and this food is clean, this food is like whatever. Like I just think the amount of wording around certain foods and like behaviors has changed the way we look at things, like the clean and what's clean. And it's like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, it's, I get it because it's like, oh, healthy. I think that's
Right.
what people are trying to say, like, oh, eating clean, eating healthy. But
Yeah.
I think we've gotten lost in the wording mumble jumble of it all, being
We
like,
have lost the plot.
yeah,
Like we
yeah,
should be eating green things that grow directly out of our own gardens, not something just because it has like an organic label on it.
right,
But like what average American has the means to grow
right,
their own
do
food?
that. Mm-hmm.
Well, your
Yeah.
neighbors are running full on
Well,
farms out of your neighborhood.
I tried to grow my own food and it didn't work. I got poison ivy instead. So that was my
True.
lesson, I guess,
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, we
But
don't
now we
do
have a farmer's market on Thursdays, so I'm getting some veggies from there, which is great.
good.
But yeah, no, I just feel like a lot of us have struggled and continue to. Like, I literally saw something and it was so true where it said, there hasn't been like a time in my life where I wasn't trying to like be smaller or like I wasn't trying to like look better or judging my body or something like that. And it's so true, actually. Like, your entire life as women, I feel like we have just spent trying to like be smaller or whatever it is because that's just what we see everywhere. And we are just like, I don't know. I just was like, wait, that's so true. Ever since we were like, I don't know,
Children.
high school probably. Yeah, like even children. I'm like, I miss the days where like that none of that ever mattered. And it shouldn't. Like, again, it shouldn't. I'm just being honest about like, yeah, it is true. Like, I feel like the last time I can remember being like, I mean, I've gotten better about this. Like, I feel like I feel pretty good now, but there's definitely days where it's like, I don't, or I see a photo of myself that I'm like, I don't like that, or the way I look in this, and like the way my body is, or the angle, whatever it is. But I'm like, I was trying to remember a time where like I didn't really even think about that, and like I just genuinely liked how I looked. And I think it was literally sophomore year of high school when I was like 15, prepubescent, skinny as a little stick, and had like, but then I remember even looking back at photos of me in college, and I looked so good. And I had before and after photos or I had before photos that I was constantly taking, and I had like abs, and I'm still taking a before photo because it wasn't good enough. And I like remember standing in the mirror and like taking a photo of myself and being like, I don't like how I look. But then now I look back now and I'm like, you looked so good. What the hell is wrong with you? I'm like, what? Like, I was so tiny in college and I still was like not happy with, I don't know, it's just an endless cycle, and it really like takes over and controls your life sometimes. And I mean, I never even had like disordered eating. I always like ate whatever, like when I thought I was healthy, but I was like, I'm not going to say no to pizza. I never really
Right.
grew up like that way, and I never had an eating disorder, but it was more like a image thing, like just never being like satisfied with how I looked, or like thinking like, this is great, I look great, and like I don't have to get smaller or whatever it is. And that just makes me so sad because it's like we keep looking, and then we look back at those photos and we're like, what the fuck was wrong with us?
Right, right. Try to think of that even for like pictures that I take now. Like if I see one that I don't like, I'm like, one day I'm probably gonna look at this and be like, it wasn't that bad. Like,
Right.
I mean, even talking, we were just talking about our short hair. I'm like, I look back and I'm like,
Yeah.
why did I ever do that? Like, it just
But it
doesn't
was
make
so
sense. But in the moment, you just don't
Exactly.
realize that it's not as bad as you think it is when you
Right.
look back on it from a bird's eye view. But I also feel like on top of the food itself being like I saw a meme the other day and it was like how many grams of protein are in like an evening spent laughing with your friends, and I'm like, that is so funny. And like, don't get me wrong, I literally, the fitness industry was my life for
Right.
years. Like I was also, how many grams of protein? Can I do grilled chicken instead of fried? I need a side of broccoli instead of fried. Like trust me, I was there and like I get it. It's just so funny because everything has turned into like, well, how many grams of fiber are in this? And like, oh, this has no, like it's
Yeah.
just become such buzzwordy and I hate it. But on top of food, the like morning routines or like daily routines have just, I feel like become so like, oh, you if you don't take this, you're gonna have cortisol face, and if you don't do this, you're gonna like have strawberry legs. Like there's just so many things to constantly be worrying about.
It can be so simple, but I feel like
Yeah.
it's just become so over the top with like society also profiting off of like us being insecure from like the time we were little. Like we're just flooded with like messages that just like tell us things need to be fixed or like this is how you get rid of this. This is how you get rid of this. So then you start being like, well, do I need that? Like, oh, I could use that, I guess, because these like fitness brands and these beauty brands, like they just profit off of us being insecure. That's how they make their money. And like that it just we just don't think we're enough because we're constantly being pushed shit that's like you need this or you need this, and if you have this then you could get rid of it by using this product. Like it's just all so much consumerism, and that's obviously a big problem of it as well. Like I think that is a huge reason why so many people have these insecurities now, and like why we are even thinking these thoughts. Like again, when we were in middle school and like I mean, I feel like people still struggled then as well, just because of like kids are mean and like they could point out insecurities you didn't even know you had. Like I remember people pointing out my freaking hairline before I even actually cared about that, and then it became my biggest insecurity because people were bringing it up, and I'm like, wait, I didn't even know I had.
That's the
I was like,
worst. You're
that's
like,
the
damn,
worst.
I
You're
didn't
like,
even
wow,
know.
new insecurity unlocked.
Yeah, you're like, that just opened
I'm
up a
like,
whole new world I could hate about myself. Thanks.
yeah, I'm like, thanks so much, and then it became my biggest insecurity. So.
Right.
But I also think it's because like the ideal like body type keeps changing. Like it was like the big boobs, the big butt, and then it changed all of a sudden to being like stick thin, and then it was like no, but curvy's in now, and it's just like the constant idea of like what the perfect body is also being pushed to us through celebrities, influencers, whatever. That I think that's another reason too, because you're like, well, I got there. Now I'm like, oh, well, I have to now be this. And then I have to go back and be this to fit this like perfect idea of what the ideal body is in our
Yeah, and
society.
it's so much easier like said than done to be like I was just putting myself through a scenario in my head where I was like, if I if I get invited to somewhere where there's like a bathing suit being worn, like I immediately am like, well, I have to do 14 things before that day now. And it's like just kind of funny
Yeah.
how it's like whether it's a vacation that you're like scheduling workouts for or like waxing or whatever, like there's just always something that like the second you hear like your body's going to be more exposed to the world, you're like, oh, there's 45 things that I need to fix.
Yeah.
And like, again, it's so much easier said than done to be like, a body is a body. Like you need to just be, you know, accepting you have a body that's moving
Yeah.
you through life. That's its biggest purpose. Its purpose is not to look like what you have deemed as perfect, but it just sucks that we immediately have, or at least I know I do. I don't know if I should say we as a collective, but like I immediately am like, oh my God, more of my body is going to be perceived.
Yeah.
Like I hate that. So it's just like hard to like escape the loop when it starts even just like thinking about that scenario. And it's hard too because like again, I don't want to speak like for the collective, but for myself, like it's not really that I sit there and I'm like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like this. Like it's not like I'm really like pinpointing like exact things, but I think it is just overall like a feeling where it's just like, ugh, like I hate that more of me is being perceived in the world.
Yeah,
feel
because
like
I think so much of our like worth has been linked to our appearance, not for like what we do or the things we accomplish. It's like if someone's attractive, you all of a sudden think they're like successful, they're worthy of like attention, they're so beautiful. They must have everything. Like it's our worth is legit linked to the way we look, and it's very unfortunate. But again, that's how everything has been set
Our
up
whole
for us
life.
since we were young. Yeah, we didn't have these images of like normal people. Like we have images of like face-tuned, perfect
Snapchat
celebrities
filters.
and filters and yeah, it's like somewhere along the way the perception of what like normal was so warped that like we just whenever we are exposed like that, we're always wondering what are people perceiving us as? Like what do they see me as? Are they judging my body? Because when we're around these people, you hear the way they talk about other people or like what they're saying about somebody at the beach or like what they're saying about even celebrities, and it's like god, the way people talk about other people and like everything is linked to the way we look. I'm like, do you think someone at your casket is going to be standing there and being like, she just had such a good body? Like,
She was so hot.
yeah. I mean, I hope you would say she's so
I
hot,
mean,
but
you're
like,
going through a fucking Slade body
like
tea
nobody
face.
is going to remember.
No,
Like,
but also nobody's gonna be like, oh my God, remember when she went to 2 workout classes the morning of 4th of July because she wanted to have 2 hot dogs that day? Like,
right.
nobody is
No.
gonna say that or think that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if they do, there's something equally as wrong with them. But
Right.
well, no, and going back to like saying like we obviously are very much perceived like we are such a judge a book by its cover society. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Like we won't even give certain people or things a chance if we immediately
Yeah.
deem them not up to our like aesthetic standards. But that's what like okay, so the show Love is Blind,
Mhm.
I really do think that that is one of the best concepts for a dating show ever. I just think that it got ruined from people realizing they could just go on it to get like Instagram clout.
Right.
Like all of those shows just it's not genuine anymore. But like the first season of Love is Blind, I don't know if I'd say it's like the best season of a dating show I've ever seen, but like it really is like a great concept, and it was so early that those people weren't like they were so in it that they were like, okay, I'm here to learn if I like somebody through a wall, and the rest of the people were like, well, I just have to like make it to
Yeah.
the end and I'll get, a bunch of followers on TikTok. So it's like hard because I feel like that has ruined those types of shows. But the earlier, especially the first season of Love is Blind, like I really do think that is one of the most best ways to get to know somebody because you like literally you can't be distracted or making like any judgment calls other than them, like
Right.
their person. And like how else do you have that
I
experience? I mean,
agree.
I guess you could be like catfished.
Yeah. It's, there's just so many factors. I feel like that just go into why we have these like thoughts or feelings about ourselves and our bodies, but I also think it's like the way you're raised, like how your parents speak about their body, how they speak about you, like, oh no, you have to eat this before you can eat dessert, or like you have to finish your entire plate, or like just those like words I feel like impact, or like you can't eat that, it's like bad, or it's bad food, and like this is good food. It's like I feel like it starts at a very early age as well of like that's bad, this is good, you can't eat that because you're gonna get fat, or like, oh, I've had so much to eat. Like I have seen my friends' parents say those things. Like my mom never said things like, she wasn't an almond mom. Like I don't know, I don't think many Eastern European moms are because they're just like cooking all the time. But I have heard that, and like I still hear that to this day. It's like, oh, we worked out, we get to eat this now, or like we can have this sweet treat because we walked or whatever it is. It's like I would have it either way, but I feel like so many people are still in that mindset of like the rewarding yourself kind of like, well, I did this, so I can now reward myself, which is not a bad thing. It's like it doesn't have to be a bad thing. I just feel like when you're constantly like I can't have that unless I do this, like I can't eat this unless I work out. I can't have that little treat that I really want. And there's a time and place for everything. If you have goals to hit, if you're like, whatever, trying to like lose weight or whatever it is in like a healthy way, I understand sometimes you're not always gonna like go for the treat. Like sometimes you do have to say no to yourself to be like, no, I have goals. Like I shouldn't go out to McDonald's. Like, I have these goals and I want to reach them, and
Personally attacked.
that's that. But if you're like, I don't know, always having to
Earn.
earn it, yeah, it's not it's not healthy. Like,
No.
it's not a good mindset. Or like pushing it on others, then it's like kids, grandkids, whatever, they're listening to you, and like the way you speak about yourself and the way you speak about other people is exactly what they're gonna develop and think is normal.
Yeah, and you like don't, I mean, not that we're children experts, but at all.
By any means.
Just for the record, putting it out there, neither of us have children.
Right.
You don't realize like how much, and like my big experience with this is coming from when I worked in fitness. We would do these camps every summer, like some fitness like games with these little girls that were 10 to 12 years old. And it wasn't like we came in and we're like, okay, we're doing mat Pilates now, but like we would come in and be like, okay, we're gonna like play this game, and like part of it is like you have to like get down on the floor and like do 20 push-ups. Like it was really cute and really fun, and just like introducing like fitness to them in a way that's not like wake up at 5 a.m. and take your green shot and get on the floor and do your push-ups. So it was really cute, but it was like during those camps, like just seeing what they knew about food, and to see kids be like, oh, I brought a Pop-Tart today, but like I'm only gonna eat one half of it if you want the other half of it, because like my mom says that like if you eat both of them it's just like empty calories. Like to hear a 10-year-old say something like that is like jarring. Like it's like you at 20 something shouldn't even be like struggling with that thought, and to like hear a chat. So like again, not that I know like anything about kids, but hearing what like young girls specifically think and know about food, and like the way that it works in your body, and like it's just crazy. It's such a weird place, like space to be in, because it just is like you're seeing yourself in them, you're seeing things that are way worse than we ever had. You're like, it's just so, it's crazy. It's sad.
It is sad. I mean, and our, like, our, what's the word I'm looking for? Not society. I'm blanking. Why am I blanking on the word?
I don't know, but words are so hard today for me.
Words are really hard today. No, it's like when, like, we're not set up for success in our environment, is what I'm trying to say. Like,
We are not
don't
born to
have the
thrive
healthiest-
here.
No, we don't have the healthiest options. Things that are healthier for you are expensive, and so it is a little bit harder. I think it's not impossible, but I just think it makes it more difficult for people that are like, I can't afford to buy everything organic and like all these things, or like I don't have the time because I'm working 2 jobs or whatever it is. So it's, but you're just made to feel so bad about yourself if you are making like the quicker choices. Then again, I do love the way like some people explain it. Like I've seen videos explain it to children, like these foods are gonna make us have like energy, and they're gonna like explaining how it's gonna make you feel, instead of like this is gonna make you look terrible, you're gonna gain weight, you're gonna like things like that, or like, oh, you're gonna look bad if you eat these foods, and you want to be skinny, you want to look good. Like there's a difference in now versus being like, these foods are going to give you energy, and like you're going to feel so strong, and you're going to be able to like do so much because it's giving you the power to be able to like go about your day and like get your work done and go and play sports because it's going to make you feel stronger. And like maybe the not so good foods for you, like the really sugary things like this, will make you feel sluggish and tired, and you won't be able to play and run around. And I like that example, and I think it's just like being mindful of the way you speak about things, and especially food, and like not making kids finish their meal, because that's also teaching them like the clean plate club or whatever. Like I feel like I was like that as a kid.
Same.
I was always like, you have to finish your food or you don't get, I mean, it wasn't really like that. I feel like in a big family, like sometimes it was that way. Like when we would have dinners, it's like, no, you have to finish your meal. So you're like,
Well, it's like a respect thing too. Like
Yeah,
people are
exactly.
like, yeah, like people are like, eat the food because there are literally starving children in the world.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my mom did used to actually say that. She was like, "How many kids
I
would
knew
want
she did.
this? You know how many
Yeah.
people would want this?" And I'm like,
Yeah,
"Good, give it to
which
them."
is obviously very valid. I mean, I don't love
No, it
food
is.
waste, but like it's also like
You can save it though for later, and like I
save
never
it for
really had that.
later. Yeah, or like I get like really bad food aversions to things that I will love for like a really long time. Like just all of a sudden my body will be like I physically will get nauseous if I think about that food right now. And like I think about that for kids who like don't really have like that internal like way of saying that. Like maybe they would like a vegetable if it was a different one. Like and parents, I know you obviously go through like kids just all of a sudden don't like something, but it's like when you're forcing them to like finish food, I'm like it could be like forcing them to overfeed them. It could be making them feel nauseous if they're refusing to eat a vegetable. It could be that they just want a different like God, again, we had talked too much about feeding. Well, I'm talking too much about feeding children for somebody who has never had to feed a child. So I'm gonna move on from that. But the forcing to finish your plate thing, again, I get all of the pros and cons of it. Obviously, kids need to eat healthy food to grow. All comes back to why I don't know if I could be a parent because I'm like, how do you explain this to a child? And like, is this why we are all so fucked up? Like,
I mean, yeah, nobody really knew how to do those things back then. I feel like so much has changed since we were kids. Like that's why I'm saying when we were kids, this is what we thought was right. It's like you clean the plate and then you can have dessert if you finish your dinner. But if you don't finish your dinner, then you can't have dessert. And then it's kind of like a punishment for not eating. So then when you grow up, it's like you have that in your mind, like you still have to finish your plate. And like I have also had to like work on that because even working in a restaurant, I found like you just have to scarf down your food. You don't have an actual break. You're not like sitting down intentionally like eating. There's so many things around food, I feel like that's really difficult and being like you don't have a second to stop and think like how's this gonna make me feel. You're just like I just need to eat something really quick and get back to work. Like it was so like structured, you didn't even have the time to think about it, that when you finally do, you're like wow, like I eat so fast because of that environment that I was in. So I feel like it's like even changing your environment and the way that you go about food and like even socially, just how it makes you feel, I feel is once you start to realize that is makes a huge difference because before I feel like I was just going about and doing whatever and like just eating just to eat or like out of boredom. I'm like, am I hungry? Do I just need water? Or am I like, how is this going to make me feel? I feel like I'm just always asking myself now how something is going to make me feel. Because
well,
that's
and
my
that's what I was gonna
downfall.
say, right? That's what I was gonna say where I was trying to go earlier too, is like it is hard because now as an adult, like I'll look at like donuts and I'm like, yeah, if I eat like two or three of those, like I know I'm going to feel like shit, not just because I feel bad about what it is doing to the look of my body, but like physically I know that's going to give me a stomach ache. And I feel like it's harder like as a child to like know that like you understand like the repercussions of that, but like
Yeah.
again like it got easier, well not easier, but recognizing that there really are certain things that again they don't need to be labeled as good or bad, but like literally how they make you feel.
Yeah. I feel like that's what it comes back to. But it's just hard. I feel like with social media, with the trends, with just the environment around us, comparison, it's just so loud that I think removing certain environments that keep you in like that headspace, people, and like just bringing yourself back, like when you say something about yourself or think something about yourself, like I always just say, would I say this to my friend, would I say that about my best friend, and I try to just like think of it like that, of like then it has no space and like there's no business for it to be in my brain if I would never say something like that to my best friend, you know. It's just it's hard. It's like rewiring your brain all over because
Literally.
you're taught like one thing or you're just like seeing stuff all the time that makes you like compare or makes you insecure. And it's just literally having to rewire your brain to think differently. And it's really hard. I mean, I still struggle with it.
Same. I think I'll struggle with it forever. Because again, it's not like I like sit around and I'm like, oh man, like I wish I had like one less roll on my. I mean, do I think some of that stuff sometimes? Definitely. But it's not like I'm like sitting around like pinpointing, like, okay, I hate this, I hate that, I hate this. Like, it just, it does put you or anybody like into a, I don't want to say like vulnerable state, but I guess maybe it is where it's like, then you start seeing the TikToks where it's like, well, here's a quick fix for this and here's a quick fix for that. And then you find yourself being like, oh my God, I'm like so worried about this thing, or even just consuming a lot of content on TikTok can sometimes teach you about new insecurities that you didn't know you had.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's definitely, yeah, it's definitely hard, and it's like I think one of the biggest daily struggles for so many people, because it's, and like this is what sucks, like working, coming from fitness, like it was, I got into the fitness industry because of the changes that I saw in myself when I took it seriously. I was like, if I can change myself, I know that other people can change themselves, and that's where that came from. And that was like an eye-opening experience that I had to go through, like the sweat and like the meal plans and like figuring out what worked, and like how even just like these very small changes made such a huge difference. But then getting into that industry, I had to literally learn how to talk to people like myself, because it was like, there were definitely times, like I would say early on, like either in my coaching days or just like in my fitness journey, like really getting started, where I was very like, earn this, earn that, like macros, pay attention to this. Like if it fits in your macros, you can have it. And I had to really like learn that there were people like me where it's like you need to just not convince people, but you need to show them the positives of just having a body. Like literally just having a body that like physically gets you places, gets you to these workout classes. Like it's not about having the flattest abs. It's not about having like the thigh gap or having flared ribs or any, like you can have all of these things, but at the end of the day, it's like, it's so corny sometimes, but it's like when you're working out, for example, you're not just picking up a heavy weight to pick up a heavy weight. You're picking up 25 pounds of grocery bags in one trip when you're 65 years old and you still live by yourself. Like you're picking up your 25-pound grandchild. Like I'm obviously doing a lot of like old people examples, but like your body is so much more than what you look like. And trust me, I get like getting fixated on that, because that is me. I do definitely still get fixated on it, where I'm like, oh, like look at that, or like I could, look how I used to look. But again, it really, I've had to fix my relationship with food, and I've had to fix my relationship with my like image of myself. And like I said before, it's definitely still like, oh, I hear like I'm gonna be in a bathing suit, I'm like scheduling all these appointments and like whatever. Like it's always a fear that I think is gonna be there. But I also have always struggled with clothing too, like not even just like with what your body looks like, but I've always had a very like skewed perception of clothing, where I'm like, I just don't want to be perceived. So I'm like big sweatshirts, like oversized stuff. I'm not really wearing a lot of like super short shorts. Nothing against it. I think you guys all look so fucking hot. I just have convinced myself that like that's not for me, and comes from like values from different family members growing up, just still being like so ingrained in my brain that like you hussy if your like ankles are showing. But I also feel like that's such an like another huge pressure that's put on us. Like I know at one point I was finding myself being like, would this friend like this shirt? Would this person like this dress? Like if I wear this. So I feel like not only is it about like what your body itself looks like, but I also feel like it transfers over into like how we're styling ourselves, and like the choices that we're making for what we wear, and like,
Yeah, validation.
Yes. And like I've
Validation of
admittedly,
other people. Yeah.
yeah. And like I've said, it took me a really long time, I think, to like really know what my like personal style was or to be okay. Like my preference is a 2XL t-shirt and biker shorts and my UGG slippers in the middle of summer. That is literally what I wear every single day of my life in 85-degree weather. And it's like I don't care anymore. Like, I'm 31 years old. I don't give a shit what anybody thinks. This is my uniform of choice, and it doesn't fucking matter. Like, it literally doesn't matter. But I just feel like it's such a like it doesn't just stop at your body. It's your clothes, it's your hair, it's your makeup, it's this, it's that, it's your shoes, the car that you drive. Like, we are such a judge a book by a cover society that I hate it.
Like finding what you feel good in, not what's trending or what your friends might like or whatever. It's like I'm not trying to look like every other bitch around me, but like sometimes
Like
that
every
happens.
other
Sometimes
bitch.
yeah, sometimes I like the trendy things. I like a little um
A
head
sport headband.
yeah, a little headband and like the cute bag that's trending, and that's okay. Like if you like those things and you want to like get things that I don't know, you enjoy and like you want to wear, that's fine, but don't be doing it just because like that person is doing it or like they look good in something, which will automatically mean you will look good in it. Like find what you feel comfortable in, not just what will gain like validation or like approval by other people. It's yeah, it's whatever you're feeling your best in. Again, it's back to the feeling. It's not even like the looking. It's like, yeah, you could look good, but like you're feeling like you're not even in your own body is not fun. Like it's not a good feeling. So whatever you are gonna like feel comfortable in and your best self, where you're like, yeah, obviously I feel better when I look good. Like I feel better when I have a little bit of makeup and I'm like dressed up versus when I'm not because I'm like, oh, everything
Right.
just like looks better. It's
Right. I'm
great.
not a gremlin.
Yeah, it actually does improve your mood. And I know there are like studies and shit that show that it's like getting up in the morning and like actually getting ready for the day
Right.
makes you a little bit more productive because you don't feel so
Right.
sluggish. And it's like working out in the morning, like going to a little class, moving your body, like you're getting those endorphins and it's very real. So just doing things that are going to make you feel good and not for the approval of other people because they're not in your body. And at the end of the day, they're also not going to remember what you wore that one time because they
Oh my
like
God,
to
nobody
watch
gives
it
a
over.
shit.
No one cares.
Literally nobody cares.
Like
Like
as long as you care
nobody.
and you feel good, that literally is all that matters.
Like big event example, I could tell you like from your wedding day, I could tell you like 3 or 4 people's dresses. Like it's not like people are examining an entire
Yeah.
room and being like, and if they are, that's a them issue and that's like they have an issue. But like it sounds so harsh to say, but like nobody gives a shit about you. Like nobody cares. Nobody's looking that closely. Nobody's like, oh my God, she has like a regular ponytail holder instead of like a cute scrunchie and she's out at the bar. Like nobody gives a shit. That was something I really had to learn like I would say like mid
Yeah.
20s is like I went from being like
You're
I
not
don't
that
care.
important, which is like, sorry, but they might notice for a moment. Like, yes, there might be that like glimpse or a moment, and maybe they think something, but again, perception is to the beholder. Like,
Yes.
your perception of someone could be completely different from someone else's perception of someone because of the values you guys have, because of the way you were brought up, raised, your own insecurities. Like you may project your own insecurity, like where one person could be like, "Oh my God, I love that." Like they're owning that. The other person could be like, "Oh, I really hate that," like shirt or whatever. And it's
Right.
just your own perceptions. And if you get caught up in that, it's like every single person is so different with so many different experiences. So for you to like care about the vast majority of people's opinions, it's like you would never come to a conclusion of like one thing. Like you're never going to be fully liked. People aren't going to completely support the things you do. There's not going to be people that are like in full support of one thing. You see it in politics, it's the same freaking thing. Like no, people are so different because if we weren't, everything would be boring. We would all just be like agreeing to the same stuff and it would just be, life would be boring. So, like you
Don't be
said, it's like
boring.
yeah, there's like, you don't want to be perceived, you have, but like, regardless, people have their own like perception of things and the way they like look at things and feel about things. Like I could like you like a sweet coffee, I don't. Like there's our perception of
Right.
coffees and what we like. So it's just,
Speaking of.
it's always going to be different. And it's
Yeah.
okay that like you like something that maybe somebody else doesn't, or you want to wear something that someone else wouldn't. Like it's not their
Well,
body.
what also like has kind of, I mean, not really recently, I guess, but it kind of helped like trigger me out of that when I would like catch myself either like looking at somebody for a little bit too long and being like, why are they wearing that? Or like
Yeah.
thinking like if somebody were to be judging me, it's like you could run into a stranger, like say you're at like a black tie event and everybody's dressed up and like hair done and makeup and gala dresses and heels and blah blah blah, and you meet this girl and her hair is just like thrown up with like a regular hair tie. That person's gonna be like, like, I can't believe her hair looks like that at an event like this. And to her, like, maybe she won the lottery that morning and didn't have time to go home and wash her hair before she came to this event. And you're worried about the fucking hair tie that she's wearing. Maybe she had to go take her mom off of life support that day and then come to this event. And you're worried about the fucking hair tie in her hair. Like, that is, I don't know when that became like my adopted mentality, but like, it's so hard for me to care about like trivial little things like that on a, don't get me wrong, there's definitely times where I'm like, whoa, I would never in a million years wear that, but like just because I wouldn't do it doesn't mean that somebody else can't. And in retrospect, like, is this person's perception of your outfit or your clothes or your shoes or what you're like, is it really important? Like, again, as long as you feel good in what you're wearing, like that is all that matters. Like, maybe this woman's a single mom and had to drop all of her kids off and didn't have time to wash her hair. Like, there's always a reason for something. And whether it's because somebody just straight up doesn't care, they're lazy, they're busy, they're, you know, a mom with a million things to do and didn't have time to care about what her hair looked like. Like, I mean, I don't even have kids and I don't give a shit what, well, I say I don't care what my hair looks like as I sit here fixing it for the entire episode, but
Same.
that's just because I'm trying to cover my bald spots, okay? That's not because I care what anybody else thinks about them. I hate seeing them. But yeah, I just have tried to like adopt that mentality about things where it's like, like if you catch yourself kind of like looking at something being like, why would somebody do that? Be like, they probably have something way more important going on than like caring about
Also,
that.
it's not that serious because are you
Nothing
ever going
is.
to think about it after that moment? So it's like, it's not even worth giving it the energy or like the real estate in your mind or to continuously talk about something or like then to take the next step and maybe bring it up to a friend or like talk about what you saw or like how somebody looks, whatever. It's like, is it that serious? And what is this adding to your life? And at the end of the day, I think a lot of it comes down to like insecurity and like, oh, if I talk about them, I'll feel better about myself because I would never do that. So I feel better talking about it because it takes the attention off of my insecurities and projects it onto this person. They're like a punching bag, basically. And it's just sad because a lot of our society is that way. And it is like about programming your mind to be like, well, they have other shit going on, whatever. Like, is it that serious? Why do I care what they're fucking wearing? Like, it's not changing my life or like what they're doing to their face, their body, their skin, whatever whatever other actions people are choosing to take that are not harmful to you or impacting you. I just genuinely don't see why people care so much. But again, it's all projection, insecurities, their own perceptions of beauty standards and like what the ideal image is to them or like the ideal person. Because everyone's going to have a different perception. You just have to like stay true to who you are. And if you're somebody that maybe is like, oh, I do that, or like, Oh, I do. Like, we all get caught in that. And it's not to say anyone's perfect. We're not like, we never think a thing. We don't even see bodies. We don't see anything. Like, yes, like you said, sometimes you do see, like, oh my God, what is that? I would never wear that. Like, something out of the norm, like crazy, where it's like someone's wearing a bra in public. I don't know. Like,
Right.
just,
Which, like, slay queen, just
yeah,
wouldn't be me.
fucking do you.
I
Like,
don't have nice
whatever.
enough
But at the
boobs.
end of the day, like, we all judge a little bit, and we see things and like maybe think something to ourselves because we are made to be like, oh, don't look and don't like think things, but it is difficult when you grew up around all of that. But it is like really sad how much like emphasis we put on bodies and like the way people look. And now being like a spray tan artist as well, I see that so much other people just like, oh, I'm so sorry, like people are apologizing constantly about like, oh, sorry about this, sorry about rolls, sorry about wrinkles, or like, oh my God, you're gonna be scarred, like blah blah blah. It's like, why are we thinking those things? And it makes me sad, and I wish we could all just like rewind and not be like, you know what, yeah, like here I am, I'm owning it. And again, it's my job to just like make people feel comfortable, and I think I do a very good job at that because I'm like, in here I just like want to chat with you and talk to you about like your life and your friends and your kids and whatever. I'm like, I could give a shit what your body looks like right now. I'm like, I just want to have like a connection with you. And we just put so much emphasis on the way people look, and I'm like, it's just exhausting and it's sad, and we should just all mind our own fucking business because, again, no one is going to be at your funeral talking about the outfit you wore, how your body looks, or any of the bullshit. They're going to talk about how you made them feel, how great of a person you were, what you did for the people around you, and that is what matters. And exactly, our
Right.
bodies are just here to push us through, and we should be grateful that we get to move and we get to hug the people we love, and yeah,
Yep.
that's that.
And that's that. That's that. And there's a difference too in like when we said the asking for like validation and stuff. Like there's a difference between like sending a picture to your friend group and being like, what's the general consensus here? But like if you like can't even decide, like if you're standing in a store and you have to like FaceTime somebody to be like, which one of these do you think is better? Like, I feel like I used to be like that before I really understood like what I actually liked and like understood like body shape, which again, not to make it sound like, oh, like don't care about your body or whatever, but like it really does. It is stemming from something you said earlier about like, oh, I saw my friend wearing this, so I bought it because it immediately would look good on me. Like learning what looks best, I put that in quotes, what is suited for your body shape is like what's suited for you is very different than what's suited for
Yeah.
me because my torso is half of the length of yours. Like it, there's not really, which I don't know, those pair of pants from Target that like weirdly fit both of us,
That was
like
weird.
perfect. I know.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't get that,
That
but
made no sense,
that
actually.
made zero sense, but I'm convinced they're the sisterhood of the traveling pants.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like it just it's hard because again, I don't want to like end this episode being like, yeah, so now figure out like what your body shape is and like what looks best on you. But as far as like your own personal style, like that really was something that changed for me was when I remember just never knowing what I would like. And I remember looking at something and being like, would this person like this? Would this person say that they liked this shirt? And that's how I was basing like clothes that I was buying. And once I learned that it's again about like putting it on, how it feels, like, is it fit for, and I'm 5 feet tall. I don't know if that's like common knowledge, but like it's very rare that like pants or dresses or anything fit me like off of, I don't want to say off the rack, like I have to take shit to be like professionally tailored. But like it is very rare that like stores carry like a large, like short version of the stuff. Like it's very few and far between. So like when I learned that like yes, I love these jeans from Target, but like I probably would get a better pair if I went to like American Eagle where they do like the short sizing. So it's like just learning like what suit, I don't want to say fit.
Yeah, and it's like at the end of the day, why are you, if you're really needing that validation from certain people, like why? Come back to the reason of like, why do you chase that validation from them? Like, is it because you want to be like them? Is it because you're afraid they're going to judge you? Because you are judging yourself? Whatever it is, like it all comes back to you and like the inner work that you have to do. I mean, even seeking therapy could help, like especially if you're somebody that does struggle with like the disordered habits, patterns, eating, whatever it is, to like have things that you can actually work through, and like homework assignments, I guess I should say, that like help you break through certain things, and like the certain ways that you have thought about things for so long. It's gonna take a long time to unlearn habits and behaviors, obviously. So just help yourself, and yeah, just know it's not easy, and like we all still struggle with that. Like nobody's perfect, and even if you're seeing stuff online and somebody's looking super confident and whatever, it's like everyone has their own struggles. You don't know what they're going through. So just, we can all be a little bit kinder and empathetic to people. That like if we see something and we are like quick to judge, it's like switching that mindset of like, well, who am I to say anything? First of all, who am I to judge? Like, we have our own shit going on, and why does it matter? It's not that serious. What they look like and what they're doing is not impacting me at all. So it's not doing anything but adding negativity and like bad vibes. So
To your own life, not even to the person you're thinking it about. Like it benefits nobody, including you.
right.
Well, I think that's all I got about body-ody-oddies today. I hope everybody loves themselves and is kind to themselves. And even if we maybe didn't give you the most constructive way to work through these thoughts, just know that we also struggle with them. And you're not alone.
Yeah. Love y'all.
Love you guys so much.
And just enjoy your fucking summer. Drink the drink and eat the food, because you only live fucking once.
YOLO.
That's right. That's that motto.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
In case you haven't heard from us enough today, come hang on Instagram at sociallyunfilteredpod.
Join our group chat to stay updated in between episodes by texting group to 833-459-3349.
Download the Social Media Manager Business Blueprint to start building your business today.
And last but not least, grab your official Socially Unfiltered merch from our Bonfire store.
You can find everything linked in the episode description below or at sociallyunfilteredpod.com.
We'll meet you back here next week, same day, same time. Bye.
Bye.